Hey Designaholics, I'm Carrie Lawless. Welcome to our channel where we teach DIY hacks, how to achieve high-end design on a budget, and how to make the most money when you sell your home through staging. Now on today's DIY, my team of Designaholics and I will show you how to whitewash your brick and literally transform your home for under $50. Stay with us, we're about to get started. The Designaholic team is here with me and they are getting set up behind me. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what we use to whitewash. Now, it's going to be equal parts. So 1 part paint. This paint is what we used on the siding of this house. So 1 part paint, 1 part water. I'm using exterior paint because we are on the exterior of the house, but if you're on the interior, it really doesn't matter. Use whatever you want, whatever sheen. This is, I think, satin. When I do this on the inside, I use flat. It doesn't really matter. So we're gonna go ahead and get started pouring this. We have 1.5 quarts of water, 1.5 quarts of paint. There's a little bit of dirt in there. It doesn't really matter. Stuff's falling from the trees. And then Natalia's just gonna go ahead and mix that up. Now, once she's got that thoroughly mixed, what we want to do, I like these plastic shoe boxes here. I think these are great because they keep everything from spilling. I use small containers and we're going to use that pitcher to pour from. We're going to have 1 container that is all water and then 1 container that's this 50-50 mixture of water and paint. And we'll show you in just a minute what we do with all this. Rondi and I are getting started on the ladder work, mostly because we only have 2 ladders. So Natalia's taking a little break right now because she can't start from here. The reason why, you have to start at the top of the wall because this is very drippy. So if she starts down here and then we come back later, we're gonna drip onto her beautiful finish. She's gonna have to work harder to overcome that. So we'll start when we get to about here. We're gonna move our ladders aside. She's gonna come in, help us with the bottom. So we're starting, I like at least a 4-inch brush. Definitely larger is good. This is what we had. So, and like I said, we've got our little container and we're just gonna get started. So I dipped my brush about 1/3 to 1/2 of the way in. Got as much of the watered down paint mixture as possible. And I'm just gonna really put this on heavy. Now it looks really opaque now, but it's gonna dry translucent. The other thing is when you're getting started and you're not really sure of how the end result's gonna turn out, better to put less and have to add than put too much because then you're stuck. Can't do anything with that. This is porous brick and it's going into the pores, it's not coming out. You wanna really make sure, especially this, every brick is different and every mortar is different. So this particular mortar is deep. So I'm having to get the brush into the grooves of the mortar because that has to be whitewashed just as well as the brick. Now, if you have a section and you feel like you just can't move the paint around, dip it in that little bit of water. Not too much because then it'll be too transparent. But that at least helps that white paint get moved around. Then you can go in and add more white paint. Then it's gonna move freely because you've got some water moving it around. It's just a delicate balance. Very little water, but just enough to help it move. This house was listed a couple of years ago and it just wouldn't sell. And as a matter of fact, I tried to sell this to several people and nobody wanted it. And I think a lot of it had to do with the color. The original color of the siding was peach. And while it went really well with the brick, we didn't like the siding or the brick. So the homeowners had all the siding caulked and painted and it looked really good. And then we realized the brick just wasn't doing that beautiful white siding any justice. So we went ahead and whitewashed the Fireplace on the inside. That really made a really big difference. And then realized, okay, if we did that on the exterior brick, this house would really come together. So that's what we're doing for them now. Oh, listen, this is a really good trick. So I'm holding this right now, I'm gonna tell you a good trick that I'm not using. But anyway, when I have a ladder that doesn't have a paint tray, you can take tape, masking tape, whatever, tape it onto the inside of your container, another reason why I like using these, and then tape it all the way down securely on your ladder. That way if you bump into it, it's not gonna fall over. Okay, so for the most part, you really can't tell what a finish looks like until you step away, step back to see if it's consistent. One of the issues here is that we have 2 and eventually 3 people doing the same finish. We all have to be consistent. If you just use the same amount basically all over, it will be consistent. You're not gonna be able to tell what it's gonna look like in the end, because as this dries, you see more and more of the brick through the paint because it dries much more translucent. So it's really just getting a feel for how much you're putting on the brick and being consistent. And like I said, better to err on the side of caution and have too little than too much. She's trying to mess up Natalia.
Oh my! I thought y'all was talking about this. What? You getting back at me from yesterday?
Yes. Hey Designaholics, we really hope you're enjoying this DIY so far. We want you to become part of the Designaholic family. How do you do that? Just subscribe, ring the little bell for notifications, and then you're in. Also, feel free to comment below and tell us what you'd like to learn in future videos, and we'll get it done for you. Subscribe today, become part of the fam. Back to our DIY. So here's a tip. If you have to stop in the middle of your project and come back after it's already dried, you want to go ahead and feather out this edge with water. You also don't want to make a straight line. You want it to be kind of like an organic shape so that when you go to blend back in, it looks really natural.
It looks so much better already. I love the white. What do you think?
I have to say, in the beginning I was mortified. I didn't think that this was gonna turn out this way. I liked the brick, but it is beautiful.
Oh,
You're right.
yes. Way better.
Yes, way better.
Looks completely different.
Completely different.
We're back, it's day 2, and I'm really excited about the progress yesterday. We're about to just go ahead and continue on. But before we do that, there are a couple of things that are attached to the house. We're gonna go ahead and loosen those things so we can get behind them. The things that we can't loosen, we're gonna go ahead and spray paint with an appropriate primer and paint to make everything blend in with the wall. If you do these things ahead of time, the job's gonna turn out a whole lot better. All right, we're about done with that. Thank you, Natalia, and we're getting started whitewashing again. Ta-da! We're finished. We are finally finished. This was a big job. Was this a big job?
It was a big job, but it was a very easy job.
Actually, it really was easy. I mean, bang for the buck. What we had to put into this, money and labor, it wasn't bad at all. So worth the total transformation. Listen, I see ugly brick everywhere. There's so much opportunity for this technique, so use it. I'm Carrie Lawless, and we are Designaholics. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the little bell for notifications. We're gonna have a ton of great stuff, and we don't want you to miss out on it, and we want you to be part of the Designaholic fam. Thanks for watching.